And we'll get just one more special comments from Wayne Brasher. What did you think of the first term and what's to come in the second term?
Look, I just thought that Josh hit the nail on the head. First 5 minutes belonged in the midfield in the forward four race at Doncaster race. Once Wantirna South got their bearings, I thought Deans took over in the ruck and the midfield started to get on top. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this second quarter.
Rucks go at it as Doncaster East kick to the Baronia Road end and Wantirna South go to the scoreboard end. It's Batsanos who sharks the middle, gets it out to the half forward where it's still a contest for the ball. Defence under heap of pressure, but Waller eventually gets on the board for the Devils, shares it out to his teammate. And there's a bit of pressure on them, but finally the dumping kick goes all the way. Nice mark taken by Walker, who had the ride on Batsanos, and he took a nice grab at half back, and that's just going to hold up under a bit of pressure. And that might be a contender for the A1 airport parking mark of the day. So that was a good effort.
Boundary.
As we go boundary again to our rookie boundary rider. I think that's Dyson Baker, is it?
Certainly is. Skill. I was down at the Doncaster East huddle at quarter time. Coach Steve Buckle really was heavy on the skill errors and also the judgment in that first term. Said both were poor. Need to get more numbers to the contest, create a stoppage if they can. Steve Buckle's pretty confident they can win a stoppage if they can create it. So if players are under pressure, they need to just hold the ball in rather than blazing away. An interesting point of note is they picked up on Hutchison was floating back into the forward 50 for Wantirna South. So Shane Tennant will be watching him sort of anywhere between 10 to 70 metres out from goal.
It's a good point made by Dyson. I think that's what Doncaster will be looking for, is to just try and get some stoppages, especially when moving out of their back line. Just try and slow things down.
So Dean's the recipient of the free kick from the stoppage, kicks it up towards the Olms direction. Tennant had the front spot. Going in after it was Dora, and also in there was Hutchison, tugged right up against the boundary line, and out she goes. Ringwood holding an 11-point lead at quarter time over the Heathmont Football Club as well in Division 3. Keep the scores coming through at Footy EFL all afternoon. Divisions 1, 2 and 3 playing finals today. Pye throws it up this time. First player after will be Batsanas, but the paint will beat him, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. It's cross down boundary side thanks to chiropractic betting.
Quarter time at Jubilee Park. Noble Park 4-4-28 lead Doncaster 3-3-21 by 7 points.
So close games everywhere you look. This is probably the biggest margin out of all of them. Well, it's a fact it is. But Doncaster East, they have the slightest of breezes. I went out there and I don't think it really means too much, to be honest, as it comes out now on the left boot here. Scott up towards the half-forward line. It was a scrambly old sort of thing, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in.
Don't seem to be getting much value out of Matt Padgett in the ruck BWS. It's just getting no clearances off his ruck work.
Certainly, Wantirna South are winning those in stoppages at the moment. Brash. As if on cue, Padgett got the knockdown that time, but it was straight down the throat of Walker, who sends it in looking for Badome, who had the front spot, and the big man comes out. It's hard to get around him when he's got that sort of space, and he takes the mark about 40 metres out directly in front. You'd almost pencil this one in.
Smart kick by Walker. I mean, you know where you've got to put it for Badome to do his best work. It was just really good position. It allowed him to run onto it, and strong hands. And Limback had a shot from this exact same spot, so it'll be interesting to see how Badome goes about this one.
There was nothing that Cogger could do on that one. Absolutely nothing.
There'll be a bit of right to left, won't there, on this kick?
He's been asking for it to be put out in space, the big man. He comes in now on the left boot. It's just like poetry in motion, isn't it? Straight over the goal umpire's head. It goes, and Wantirna South have their 5th goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and out to a dangerous type of lead at the moment, 37-8 at the moment.
Well, Brash, you mentioned the midfield, and you mentioned Mark Padgett. It just looks like Doncaster East have just been second to it a couple of times. Even when Padgett got that tap down before, Walker was just smart enough to be there when it came to the ground. And the midfield is really important in this game, and Wantirna South looking the goods at the moment.
Yeah, just reading Padgett very well.
Rucks go at it. Padgett wins the tap and he just slaps it to centre half forward out of a bit of anger. So it wasn't directed to anyone in particular. Finally, Stephen gets a quick kick out of it, goes in down forward, full forward, but it's been picked up by Young. Young has to get through a couple of tacklers, finally gets a hand pass out, and he slings it to himself, really, and he shares it with Lee, and Lee from full back just puts a floppy little kick, but it was nice. Chrome took the mark and centre back, and they're off and running through centre back to centre forward. They go. Tennant was in best position, but they did the roving to him. Now at ground level, what can Wantirna South do as they go inside 50? Great punch in by Martin. Martin goes in again. Hand passes in front of Lauva, who has to bend over to pick it up. Then the tackle comes in. But now they share it again. Martin, he's kick smothered. So Wantirna South are great with their pressure. Deans gets a hand pass off to a runner. And now they'll spear it in towards Badome. Coggill's right on him and takes him to ground. Great tackle.
Gee, that was really good play by Coggill.
So the ball bounced into Badome's hands, but as soon as that happened, Coggill was right on him. So it's a ball up 30 metres out. The smaller ruck of Mill goes up for Doncaster. He's ground level, walking into open goal. Missed to the right, 20 metres out. Hardly any pressure. And I think that's Leggett, who's just missed from 10 metres out. It was maybe too easy in the end, and it's 5-8-38, a 5-goal lead for Wantirna South as Johnny Easter 1-8.
That's a worrying sign, though, when you're seeing a player just run into open goal with no pressure. That's a worrying sign from a back line.
And another one was the smaller ruckman in Mill. Just maybe he didn't know to go, and he's a late call-up, so to speak, and he got thrashed in the ruck, and Leggett roved it beautifully, running into an open goal, but missed.
So Tenler, kick in, finds Mill. Speak of the devil, short passes on to Sousby. He takes the mark. Wants to get on with it quickly. Linked up okay there with Tenlow. Switches it out wide. He saw in his peripheral vision he had Luke McLeod out there, but the boundary line might beat him there. The disposal letting him down there.
Yeah, the idea was right, BWS, but just the execution just didn't come off.
He was surrounded by 3, and then he had the men in the open, but the kick didn't work.
So boundary throw in, 70 metres out from Wantirna South goals. Paget got the knockdown. Sousby's first one to meet the ball. Got the handball away to Stephen, who handballed it to himself. Kevin Bartlett styles there, but eventually taken over the boundary line by Taz Klingen.
You're calling him greedy?
It's just
or hungry.
a familiar highlight.
Hungry, I should say.
Pye throws it in. Paget knocked it down. Came off a shin and over the boundary line it goes again.
They look a bit off, don't they, Doncaster East?
Just think everything's working nicely for Wantirna South at the moment. They're putting themselves in the right position. They're backing themselves, and they've got the cleaner skills. There's absolutely no doubt about that at the moment. Little looping handball out wide. Just the bounce just beat Teakle. Stephen came in once again for Doncaster East. It'll kick off the ground there from Loud. They gained a valuable 20 metres or so, and it goes up towards the forward 50 for Doncaster East, and will have a boundary throwing. They must kick the next goal, Doncaster East, to remain in this contest. 5 goals is a big margin. 7.5 minutes gone, first semi-final out here at Tormore Reserve. It's Wantirna South with the lead, 30 points. Deans goes up that time, got the knockdown in the front spot. Sousby's had a few touches, doing well, kicks it inside forward 50, drop mark that time. Comes out. Thought that one was definitely high. The umpire's called it extremely late. I think it might be Batsanis underneath that one.
Yeah, definitely there, that one.
Yep.
And he'll have a shot on goal. Nick Batsanis, who's been an absolute ripper for Doncaster East all season.
He started well today too, Nick Batsanis. He's providing at least some run out through the midfield and into the forward line, BWS.
So if they ever needed a goal, they need it certainly now. Currently trailing by 30 points. Slight breeze behind their back. Batsanis comes in, pushed it. Never looked like going home. It might even go completely wide, and it does, out of bounds on the full on Wantirna South. No change to the score as the short pass comes back in. It was a terrible old kick looking for Gerloff, and over she goes for a boundary throw. 50 metres out from the Doncaster East goal line.
So another opportunity for the Lions. As you said, they desperately needed the next goal. The game sort of got away from them just through the pressure on their ball handlers. And now, close to the boundary, they all dive in. Gleason's one of them, and he gets tackled. Leggett was in there for the Devils as well. So Saravola picks himself up with the ball, and the umpire's got it. 55 metres out from Doncaster East goal. It's close to the boundary line. It might go out with the defence helping it, but they might have kept it in through Burkett and Klingen. No, the boundary is there. And it's a free kick. Must have gone off the foot as they were trying to pick it up. Or, not sure. Did you see what... It must have been an accidental kick off the ground on the full, and Batsanis has got it in hand, close to the boundary line, 30 metres out. And surely he's going to put it to a hot spot, but he's looking much more deliberate than that with his going to put it on the right boot on one of the most acute angles, right goalpost, never got inside it and misses. And 139. I don't think the percentage play was on that one. 139, 29 points of difference as Wantirna South at 5'8", 38.
I think you've got to have a shot within 40 metres, Gav.
There was no chance with the wind into his face, I reckon.
Kick comes out. Mark's been taken by Taylor Leggett. So he'll go further afield. Short pass. That was good play. Tim Lee made a bit of space. Kicks it up towards the wing position now. Knock away by Mill that time on his teammate opponent there in Olms. They move up okay here. The Devils. Little handball got cut off in the middle of the ground, just outside the centre square, and we will have a bounce.
I think he's very lucky there,
I was going to say, had to be holding the ball,
I
surely.
thought that was holding the ball.
He got dispossessed, which is the bad thing for the
Took on the tackler.
Yeah, exactly.
But just as the ball was about to be, he was about to be pinged, the ball came out.
Well, he goes up again. Batsanis at the fall. The ball goes after it. Sousby was there for support, but ball held up, so we'll have another bounce. Far side of Tormore Reserve.
Gaines just hit a bit of a lull here for a couple of minutes.
29-point lead to Wantirna South. If anything, it's just forward for them. Sousby sat on it that time. It eventually scoots out his girl off on the right boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line, and Mark's been taken by Leggett. He's having a good game so far, Taylor Leggett. No one stands the man on the mark, so he's given every bit of room to kick it to Badome, who takes the mark. So he'll kick from just outside 50, but we know how he's got such a good amount of purchase. And inside forward 50, Leggett, the man of the moment, got the handball away to Papa. Nicely wrapped up there from Tendler over the back there. Iubi was dangerous, almost tired.
Why would Dan Badome pass that off? He just kicked a goal from the exact same spot. Big K full forward. Just
it
go
was
back
beyond
and kick
50. It was beyond 50. He had the pass on. He just dropped it.
Yeah, it was an easy mark. It probably should have been taken. Olms just snaps it out of absolutely nowhere. Top of the goal square. Nicely done there by Cockhill. Got the handball away. That was Wantirna South fans screaming for it. Nicely done by Martin. Got it away to Tendler. He can have a bounce. He can maybe have two. He'll kick it in towards the middle of the ground. It was a risky kick as well, but they're going to get out of this nicely. Well done there by Agnew. Got it away to Stephen. Handball over the top. He was looking for Sousby. Chopped up there by Gleeson. Now the Devils have a chance to go forward. Kick inside forward 50. Tendler takes the mark. So he's seeing a lot of the football. He's Tendler at the moment. Kicks it out wide to Mill, who takes the mark. Kicks it up towards open space, up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football, looking for Pabak and Stantonow, who tapped it out to his advantage. In there also was Locke, went after it. Papa went after it again, as does Sean Young, who holds the ball up and will have a bounce. True centre wing, far side of Tormore Reserve. Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to chiropractic betting. Here's Brett Feston.
Boys, Brett Hutchins has just come off the field. I don't think it's anything too serious, just doing some stretches on this one. I think he's taken a knock to the ankle.
Gerloff hands it out into the
just
open.
a knock to the ankle, boys.
And on the run go Wantirna South inside 50. Won't get to Badome, but in good position. Drop mark by Papa. He's had one arm held, and it's a holding decision going his way. He had one arm held. He used his own strength, but he just couldn't bring the mark in, and the umpire saw it as a free kick as well.
I didn't see it like that.
Non-officiating umpire paid that one.
I didn't see it. I thought that the player himself put the arm around the back to make it look like he was getting held.
Well, I reckon from the angle you can sometimes get, from my angle, Papa had one arm held, and if it looks that obvious, sometimes the whistle just goes straight away. And so no surprise that Papa's got the free kick from 45 metres out. He skips into it and he kicks it long through the goals. And it's goal number 6. Wantirna South skipping to a 35-point lead, 6-8-44. Doncaster East, they're stopped on 1-3-9. 14 minutes gone in this second term.
I just thought I thought Doncaster East were very hard done by there. I didn't think there was a free kick in that one, but sometimes you just got to make your own luck, and unfortunately for Wantirna South, they were on the right end of a decision there that shouldn't have gone their way.
It's 3-on-1 versus you in that one, Gav, as the umpire throws it back up. Stephen got the knockdown. Up towards the half-forward line. Stevens goes after it again. He nearly could have been pinged for a high tackle there. Umpire said it was okay. Inside forward 50 now. The backs of Wantirna South have been sensational so far. Chalakis was in there.
Another free.
And it might be a free kick to him for a little bit of a shove in the back. Jack Chalakis. at this point in time, you've just got to, when you're within range, you've just got to go back and back yourself and hope that it works out right.
And need to kick this goal. Need to kick these goals when they got the chances. And Jack Shalakis is a beautiful kick. I expect this one to go straight through.
So Shalakis only kicked 1 goal for the game so far. It's probably just his range. He starts it out left and it stays left, but the mark's been taken there on the line by Dylan Agnew and it's been paid. So he's going to be on one of the most difficult angles you could ever ask for, Dylan Agnew. Just weighing up his options.
If he gets to 10 metres, he'll come inboard by the look of him.
You'd think he'll slightly open it up, snap around the body, and he puts it through. Doncaster East get the goal that they were after. 15 minutes gone now in this first semi-final. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they move to 2-3-15. Wantirna South 6-8-44. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to chiropractic betting.
Boys, Steve Buckle not all that pleased with the run out of half-back. A couple of times they've come out and immediately turned it over. They were told specifically at quarter time to come out, particularly to this grandstand side wing where they know they can create a bit of space and create the numbers. They've been caught too many times on that Mount Dandenong side, just out in open space, and plenty of Wantirna South players there, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Dyson, you're right with that, because there's just a couple of hand passes that have been looping and they've been intercepted. It's uncharacteristic, but that's what pressure does to you. Back in the middle, much needed goal for the Lions that gets them back within 29 points. And they've got a centre clearance now. The bouncing ball doesn't favour them. Teakle did well. And the hand pass comes out of the tackle. Shalakis picks it up. He has to get out of a tackle. Hands it on to his running teammate in Papa Constantino. And the mark being taken fortuitously to Locke. And he just got in front position, read it nicely as his defender was scrambling, and the young Locke took the mark on the chest about 20 metres out from the Boronia Road end goals.
He's one player that needs to lift his output as James Papaconstantino. He's been relatively quiet in the first couple of quarters here for Doncaster East.
So Locke from 30 metres out. He's just tugged it, trying to get the distance, and it was a very ugly kick off the boot, missing to the left side for another minus score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 17 minutes, second term. Wantirna South lead there 6-8-44. 28 points ahead of Doncaster East through 2-4-16.
Been a really good 5 minutes for Doncaster East. Obviously, a couple of chances on goal have gone wide, but just feel like they're just getting a little bit of form, a little bit more of the ball. If they can get another couple of goals, this game starts to become a bit closer.
You've seen them all year. They can score quickly, can't they?
They can if necessary. They need to make sure they lock this ball in here.
Probably should have been 3 more goals on the board. That's the difference between a side taking their opportunities and another side not. Here's Duran. Got the handball back. That's okay. They might be able to square things up here. Kick goes into the middle looking for Lucas. Takes the mark. They're 2 kicks away here. It's a pretty action-packed forward line as the ball goes to the top of the goal square. Limback had the front spot there, but at ground level we'll go after it again. Locke was in there for support. Devils paddle it out. Limback again was in there. Nicely done there by Burkett. Got the handball away to Teakle. Coolhead in a tough situation. Got the handball away to Baker. And now the Devils are up towards the Olms direction. Couldn't quite pull the mark down. Goes after it again. Great second effort. Lowther, little toe poke off the ground. Out towards the Martin direction, who trapped the football. Classy skills as Jack Martin. Had a great season on the left boot. Up towards the half forward line. Big fly there from Padgett. Also had Agnew there. But at the back of the pack there, reading it well, was Young. Got the handball away. Now the Devils drive it back towards the wing position. Big fly over the back there from Coghill. Got the double fister away. Stephen had a little bit of time. He probably had too much time in the end. Harkness, it went straight down his throat. Now he's going to switch the play towards Hutchinson in the middle of the ground. They'll link up here. The Devils through the middle. They go up towards centre half forward. A one-on-one situation. It was nicely knocked away there. At the fall, the ball. Lowther played for the free kick. Lucas came in for support. Got it back to Lowther, who's under a lot of pressure. You can hear the Wantirna South fans screaming for holding the ball. The umpire's not going to pay that one. 19 minutes gone here in the first semi-final. Free kick given away from Aaron Ceravolo to Anthony Papa, and who could almost be within range here, Papa, but instead, once again, they'll go through, getting a little fingertip on it. That time, that was good play there by Shalakis. Still about 20 metres out. Walker this way, that way. A little handball back. This is okay. Selling the candy nicely and then kicking it to the top of the goal square. Looking for Badome was Wantirna South and through for one behind. So Doncaster East fans breathe a sigh of relief with that one as we cross almost time on here in the second term, and it is 6-9-45 Wantirna South playing 2-4-16 Doncaster East.
Boys, one move, Mill and Tennant have changed men. So Mill's on Olms and Hutchinson has got Tennant facing him. Bit of a push out and Tennant will get the free kick at centre half back as Hutchinson got into his back and Tennant's got the free kick. He's looking in both directions and the umpire's going to call him to hurry up and play on. So go to the outer side, goes laterally as you can, sideways he goes and it's outstretched. Ayobi picks it up just before the line and he gets out of bounds. So Tennant was so confused on the next option that he couldn't hit the target sideways even.
That's the second time that's happened to Doncaster East. Another poor disposal going out. Just handling advantage away.
Martin just sharked it in front of the ruckman. He gets the kick to half forward. Young did well for Wantirna South in defence. The ball's in dispute. Half back for Wantirna South, half forward for Donny East, and a free kick goes the way of the Devils.
I have to say that the half back line of Wantirna South are playing magnificently at the moment.
Young was quick to hand pass it on, so he has to do a 1-2 with his running teammate in Harkness. The ball goes to half forward, no mark taken at ground level. It's a scrap for the ball. It's now half forward on the outer side for the Devils. And they're the ones most likely to hit up a leading option in this game, but not that time. Donny East have probably done well in defence with their man-on-man marking.
They just can't get clean ball at the moment to get their running game going.
So the pack goes at it. Charging at the ball was Tenler. He has to take on the pack as he gets the ball. And two players tackle him in effect. So Wantirna South tough in the clinches, doing a great job.
Donny East are lucky they've got Stephen and Tenler running around playing good games at the moment.
So the Rucks go at it again. It's in a dangerous position. Tenler or Stephen grabs at that time, took on the tacklers and is penalised for holding the ball. No advantage paid on the outer side and the umpire will bring it back to where the tackle will be rewarded and Leggett has got it.
Just won't want to let Wantirna South get a goal here.
He's got Hutchinson on the lead. He pulls it back too far, but it flies so far that goes to another player, puts it to the goal square. Olms unattended, nearly takes it. The last ditch punch comes in, and Stephen did a good job because Olms had his name written all over it. And there was no body on him, and literally, and luckily Stephen came back with the fight.
So Tenler, it's time, as always, to bring the ball back in, and he's going to go out towards the Stephen direction over the back. Batsanis might be able to take off here. He's got a little bit of space, has one bounce, could have gone maybe for two. Instead kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Papa Constantin now takes it. He's 55 metres out from goal. He might be able to put this one through, Papa, and he slams it home. Chiropedic betting, goal at a contender. That is coast-to-coast football at its best from Doncaster East. That's the confidence boost they needed, Wayne Brasher, and at the 23-minute mark of this second term, they edge closer on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Wantirna South 6-10-46, 24-point lead over Doncaster East 3-4-22.
If that's the sort of play that gets you back and up and going again, then that was the piece of play that Doncaster East so badly needed. That was really good play. They really opened up Wantirna South and actually gave them no chance to get anywhere near a ball.
And James Papa Constantin now is a big confidence player, so let's see if he can really use this goal to now lift centre half forward for the Lions.
Well, Padgett versus Deans, and I reckon the Wantirna South Rucks got the edge, not only in the centre, but this time it's Padgett who gets the ruck contest. But at the back of the pack, Baker grabs it for Wantirna South. He's got swung as he kicks it, but it's an effective one. It bounces to Leggett at half forward. Goes back to the middle on the bounce. Might be a turnover, but working it nicely was Gerloff. Just under a bit of pressure, get back on the ball and get it to Baker on the wing, all on his own. Another short, all on his own is Harkness. Harkness is going to look to spear in a pass, puts it into the pocket. Got the flyers, good judgment. Devils take the mark through Walker. And he was the only one really who knew where the ball was going to be, put himself under it, and the arms took a strong mark.
Where was the Doncaster East back line there, Josh? They were non-existent on that piece of play there.
Ran forward on the turnover, and when they turned it over again, Harkness was just sitting out on that flank and giving a good ball user too much time to find an inside 50.
The Doncaster East defence was scrambling, and Walker, good judgment in the pocket, left pocket, puts it on the boot, puts it right side, it's missing to the scoreboard end, doesn't get the journey, punch out of bounds is out of bounds.
Just wanted to say, just in the middle of the ground there, I thought the work from Jimmy Sarin with his second effort to force that ball out was absolutely super there.
Yep.
Yeah, he was put under pressure by the kick inboard to him from Leggett. But here we go, boundary throw in the pocket. Martin got dragged off it, never put his boot on the ball. The tackle was a bit high, and Shalakas gets out of that tackle and just puts the kick to centre half back. Bouncing ball will go the way of Donny East, and they'll run it through centre half back. They can't connect yet, but they've still got it in hand. As now they go out wide, good leading option. And mark by Papa Constanel. He's just looking at options further on. Limback's gone the lead. He mistimed his lead, so it's put to the length for and 2 grabs marked by Donny East, and Stephen does it again. He got in good position. He had to go back towards goal to take it as the lead from Limback was missed.
God, he's a good player, Mika Stephen.
He's played some fantastic football this quarter. He's tearing it up. It's his birthday today. I know his wife's expecting his second child any time
I saw her walk in the ground. She's bursting.
Really big game by Mickey. He'd be hoping she holds on for a few hours. But no, he's played fantastic and a real good chance to kick a goal here.
And it'll close the gap to 18 if Stephen can be accurate. Just before half-time, he puts it to the right, and he never looked like... He kicked it like it was a square ball, and it went out and missed.
Tell you what, Gav, we've seen some shocking efforts at goals. Probably the worst set shots from both sides, especially that far side down here at Tullamore Reserve. It's definitely not some pretty goal kicking.
You know, both sides, Doncaster East have had chances to get back into the contest, and Wantirna South have had chances to ice the contest.
Well, Harkness went short to his teammate there in Young, who goes after it again. Tennant's right on his hammer. Screaming for the free kick of holding the ball. Umpire doesn't want a bar of that, so we'll have a ball up about 50 metres out from the Doncaster East goals. So big Paget over the back, got a little left hook on in that one. Cook couldn't quite trap it. Little handball out wide. Batsanas somehow got boot to ball, and that's a good percentage kick to the top of the goal square. Limback was in the back position there. Pavic and Stanton now screaming for it. Also there is Locke. Good defensive pressure by the Doncaster East forwards to just hold it in. So 15 metres out from their goal line now. They've been playing some better football in the last 5 minutes, but the margin is still 23 points. The Devils are double the score here as a rush behind has been kicked there by
Harkness
Taylor Leggett, who slammed it through. So
20 metres out from his own goal, he concedes the point.
Even he couldn't kick straight, and it wasn't even his own goal.
Is that deliberate?
Yeah, it is. In another competition, yes.
Yeah, in the AFL, that would have been paid deliberate, but the ball comes back, and it'll be Braden Harkness to bring the ball back in for Wantirna South. Just weighing up his options. Time's ticking on. 27 minutes gone in this second term, first semi-final. 22 points is the margin. A beautiful kick out it was too, and the mark's been taken there from Dean Waller. So, short little chip kick. It had to be perfect, and it was a good one too. Harkness takes it, and now the Devils have opened some space out because Hutchinson's all by himself out on the wing position. He's able to stop prop, go back, screaming for it out wide. They still have the numbers too, the Devils, as this time it's Young on the right boot up towards the half-forward line. This is good play here. Mark's been taken there by the big man in Brad Holmes. He's already kicked 1 goal. They're 2 kicks away. Kicks it to the hot spot towards the Bedome direction, but Jack Martin, he probably could sense the big man coming up behind him, but he stayed strong. Jackie Martin took a good mark, kicks it out. Batsanas, he's having a good game too for Doncaster. He swings around on the right boot now. That is a terrible kick, but it worked out okay because Mika Stephen was there to mop it up and kick it out towards the wing position. Bouncing football, Tenler is going to go after this one. He's had a good game too so far for Doncaster East. Up towards the half-forward line. Teakle was right there. He did brilliantly. Teakle, Lowther, looping handball over the top. It was risky. Martin still running on with it. Got the handball away. Tenler's in there. Knocked it back to Lowther. They're doing it tough here. Doncaster East, a kick goes forward. Looking in there for their teammate in Shalakas, who hit the deck at the crucial stage. And we'll have a bounce about 35 metres out as the siren sounds to announce half-time. Fantastic half of football by the Wantirna South Football Club. 16 scoring shots to 9, and they hold a 22-point lead going into the main break on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 6-10-46 to Doncaster East, 3-6 24. It's only single goal kickers right across the board in both sides. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern, streaming live efl.org.au around the globe and easternfm.com as well. And we'll come back after these messages to go around the grounds to Gus McLeod, who's out watching the Ringwood Heathmont clash today in Division 3. Hope you're enjoying it today. We're certainly enjoying it. And, bring on the second half.